Okay, here are some basic tips for English-speaking players, that do not read any Chinese for the Taiwanese version. A lot of stuff is self-explanatory, but you may feel a bit overwhelmed or confused about some things. So, here's some basic tips. Alright, if we hit the U key, we can bring up our scouter. The very first quest is actually to use the scouter to scan a mob. So what you can do is you click on any mob and you hit the T key and you will scan it. You'll notice that there are 5 ability slots here. The first one is the default slot that every scouter has. Now if you have other add-ons, which I have, this quest search chip in there you get from an early on quest, probably like the 6th quest you'll get from the head of whichever racial city that you play. So if it's human, it's like the mayor. If you're Namek, it's the king. But it's very, very helpful. So when you have it in your inventory, our inventory is all crunched together. Using. Alright, so you have it in your inventory, you just right click it and it attaches to your scouter. So you can close that with U and close inventory with I. You open scouter again with T and you can either click here or hit the number 2. And what that does is scan the visible world for new quests. And there are no new quests for me right now because I've already done all the current quests. But if there were, they would appear as blue dots. Alright, let's also look at Popo stones. When you die, you get sent back to the Popo stone that you selected. Now this is one here. I can't use mine yet, but here is your Popo stone. You can actually click that and return. See, I still have cooldown on mine. What it does, it takes you back to your Popo stone. Now the Popo stone that you've activated, which will be your home stone, becomes green. The other ones will look purple. And we'll get straight to more tips. Now even though you can't speak Chinese, or read Chinese, more importantly, you can still accomplish these quests. If you hit J to bring up your quest log, you'll see here, Lord, why is this so crazy? You'll see here, it's in red, so you have to attack it. So you have these targets. So what you can do is, on your quest log, just this one here. This is the one we were looking at. You can click track quests and it'll bring up the quest over here. This is another one. So we'll try those since those are counter quests. Alright. Now even though you can't read, you can recognize symbols. Look at this. These symbols here and these symbols here look remarkably similar. Remarkably similar. That's because that's what they are. So you can infer, hopefully, that you need to kill these creatures. The same can be said if you have to pick up a certain item. It usually has a red circle. Red circle indicates the presence of that mob or item. You see these red circles? Oh, that's the same symbol as over here, and as creatures. So you can infer that these are where these creatures are found. So you go to these red circles. You see I'm at the edge of one of these circles. Beat up this poor creature. You have to be bloodthirsty in this game. You see the number went up. You also see this bar over here. This one is your life points, of course. Same as health. And energy points, EP. You use energy points for skills. You see the cost over here. However, at this bottom is rage points. What you can do is you hold down the skill hotkey, and you notice this little menu pops up. And what you can do is you can either click or hit the number, and it will use the charged version of that skill. So if I get hit, it goes back up. So I'll hold that down, hit 1, and there's the charged version of the hit. It does a lot more damage. Or you can hit K to bring up your skills. And you'll click this little ability skill set. These are the possible charges. And since we only have one available, we can go ahead and click the one that is available, and that automatically uses it. So when you have enough RP and you hold down the skill, rather than bring up the pop-up menu, it will just use the stronger version of that skill. And let's look at the skills we have here. These red ones heal life, which is kind of obvious because your life bars are red, and the green ones for energy. Namex can eat these plants, or drink tea. It improves their ability. I don't know which one because I can't read that. But if you bring up this bar here and use one, let's see. Oh, it looks like it regenerates your EP. Isn't that interesting? So that blue bar means you're drinking essentially the water, and it's slowly regenerating your EP. So that'd be useful in battle. Duration's already expired, so it's no longer filling up. But oh, so this one is life points. So that's unique to Namex. Humans can't use these. Everybody can use the general potions. Let's see what else we have here. Quest items in the J. Looting. You can hit V, and they'll pick up nearby items. You can... These skills that have durations, if it's self-cast, then it's a blessing, or if it's let's find ones, the purple one usually, then it's a curse. So these self-casts. The difference between melee fighters and the distance fighters like spiritualists versus martial artists is that the skills that the fighters have, which is the same as the Namek, which is warrior counterpart. All the blessings are self-cast, but the spiritualists usually can bless other people, heal them. They're more support type characters and damage dealers. And then if you choose those, you can choose the subclass. For example, with spiritualists, which are the humans, you can either become a crane hermit, which is support, versus turtle hermit, which is more damage output preferential. Those are the basic tips I can think of right now. There are some general skills that you have to do in each starter city, but I'll put a link to there, and I'll put a link to the skill database, which has an English version of all the skills that you need to know. And that's all for right now.